Hey awesome ones, Heather here. And you know what? One of the things that I've learned about life is sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down, and you know, a lot of us, we just get into those states, and sometimes in the down times we have to do some budgeting. So I thought I'd do a video today on some budget makeup that I have found that are great prices, and they actually look really good too, and I really can't wait to share it with you. It all starts in just a few seconds. So for many, circumstances have changed. You know, it's time to start looking at more bargain budget brands. And hey, you know, I used to use a mascara, a high-end kind of designer mascara, and now I can get just as good of a product, and I'm going to show it to you in this video, for like a third of the price. So why not? So the products I'm going to show you, I have used for quite some time. It's not like I just ran out and I'm doing a tutorial just using them for the first time. They last, the consistency is good with them, and I'm not getting the raccoon eyes underneath, and I can't wait to show them to you. But of course, the only way to show this to you is me without any makeup, so let's do a presto changeo. You know, as a former model, I used to always turn down the opportunities for magazines where they do like the before and the after, but here in these videos, I'm just keeping it real. I'm trying to put my best face forward, even if it is the before. So first of all, we're going to start with the primer, and I'm using an inexpensive CoverGirl primer. This one is simply ageless, so it helps with our pores and everything. And what I like to do is start in the morning with a fresh face. No day cream, just my real face from the night before, and I just put a little bit on, about that much. You don't need an awful lot of it. And when you're applying this, just sort of think of, you know how you put primer on a wall and then you put the paint on? Well, think of your face as a wall, something like that. Anyway, I'm just going to put it on a little bit here. Don't mind if my face turns a bit red. It always does when I put on the primer, but then I kind of, well, I'll go back to normal. So I've been using this quite a bit, and it is lovely and no breakouts. So you have to let the primer dry a little bit, and this would be a good time maybe to touch up some nail polish and la 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 la. Have you noticed I've got red nail polish on right now? I'm trying to add a little bit more vibrancy to my life, and what I'm wearing is Sally Hansen. It's the Insta Dry, and it's 373 Rapid Red. So, and it does go on pretty fast as well. So, like I said, we need this opportunity to just sort of let this dry, and then we'll go on to the next step. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering where you can get these products online, I'm going to provide some links for you underneath the video, so it'll be easy peasy. And the next thing I want to do is put on concealer. Now it's really, oh, and this is it's called Instant Age Rewind. So hey, don't we need a little bit of that these days? And it's from Maybelline. So again, it's a very affordable price. And I am going to use the Maybelline concealer, and this is Fair 110 is the color I'm using. And I'm going to use that with the Maybelline foundation. So it's very important that the two brands pretty well match up as far as the concealer and foundation. All right, so when you buy this, it comes with a sponge on top. I suggest you just pull off that sponge because the sponge kind of dries out and it's not the best applicator. So all you do is you twist this, and then you put a little bit on your hand like this, and then I would really suggest that you use a proper concealer brush like this one here, and I'm just going to show you that I'm going to put that underneath my eyes here. And see that purpley part that I have there in between my eyes, I guess you can call it? I'm going to go in there too. and do that. Kind of smooth it out a little bit too. And you can probably see the difference between the two eyes here. You know, the concealer one, of course, is much nicer. And what I'm not going to do right now, though, is I'm not going to cover up my age spots that I have right now. I'm going to show you what I do with those a little later on. So I want to let that concealer dry, and what I want to do now is start working on my eyes. And I have my eyeliner. I'm using black here. It's called Carbon Black, and it's from L'Oreal Infallible. I really like this because it's kind of a pencil tip here and then a kind of a smoother outer. I don't know what that is on the other end, but I'm going to draw a line for you, and I don't just go like that to draw a line. I actually do a few little dots and then kind of connect the dots, and that's how I do the line. I also am going to do a little swoosh on the outside of my eye because I have hooded eyes. So Bill, can you see this okay, what I'm doing here? Maybe a little close up. You can see that I'm just sort of dabbing the eyeliner on. And then on the end, I'm just going to give it a little swoosh like that. And now just kind of connect the dots a little bit. Now what I really like about this eyeliner is I can wear it from morning till night and it doesn't smudge and I don't get those nasty raccoon eyes. Also, I mentioned hooded eyes, and well, with me, as I aged, I got hooded eyes, which means that, you know, it's kind of like going like this a little bit. But I did a video on hooded eyes, and it's really just how to wear some eye makeup and give your eye a little bit more of a lift. And if you want to see that, I'm going to put the link for the video at the end of this one. So next is the eyeshadow, and I'm sticking with L'Oreal again on this, and this is their Le Petit Palais, and it has some beautiful ivory and brown colors. I'm going to skip the blue, but those are really, really nice for a neutral look, so that's what I'm going to use on my eyes. So I'm going to start with this ivory color here, and I'm just using a little sponge applicator for this, and what I'm going to do is just put that on my eyelid, just above the eyeliner there, and also just a little bit underneath my brow bone. So I'm going to use this lighter brown here with a brush like this, and what I'm going to do, I don't go right into the corner, but I'm going to start about here and just do a little swoosh. And again, remember that tutorial for the hooded eye at the end of this video. And we're just going to do a little bit like that. So next, with an angled brush, I'm going to go into this darker color here. And I'm going to put it underneath my eyes. I don't want to use an eyeliner because I really feel that it ages a lot of women to use an eyeliner, and this is much softer. Also, what I want to do is get a little bit more, and I want to put this dark color right into the crease here, right into the crease, and I'm going to swoosh it out a little bit. Now you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, that looks terrible. Well, this is the time for the blending brush here, and what I'm going to do is just keep blending outwards into the swoosh, and there you go. It gives a much more natural look once you do the blending of it. I'm going to go ahead and do my other eye right now, and because just for the sake of time, I think it's a good idea. So it's foundation time, and many of you have suggested that I try the Dream Urban Cover, and it's by Maybelline, and I have tried it and I like it. One of the other reasons why I really like it is because it has an SPF 50 in it, and I think that's just fabulous to have that. It's great coverage, and the color that I'm using is 112, and it is Natural Ivy. Now, because I want to really get the protection of the SPF, I'm going to put this on my little palette, which is my hand here, and I'm going to use a sponge applicator, something like this. These are really cheap. You can find them at any drugstore or online as well. And I'm just going to smooth that over, and this will give me a little more coverage. It's a nice matte finish too, which I really, really love. I sort of start with my forehead and then go down the nose. Now, I only have a little bit left, but I don't want to, have you got those little wrinkles happening above your lip? Well, I do. And so I don't want to really cake on the makeup for that. Now, you see I've got spots here, I've got spots here. So I want it to be the thickest on those spots and then just kind of work out from there. So there we go. I'm still going to cover those spots. I did promise you that I would show you how I would do that. Just bring it down, thin it out around your cheeks here, or chins. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. And then we're gonna go this way. And kind of blot it on. So I've got lots and lots of sunscreen protection. So let's let that dry, and it's time for mascara, and I am using this Maybelline, and it's Falsies. It's called Falsies Lashes. No, Falsies Lash Lift, sorry. I'm using black. I know you can use brown or something along those lines. I absolutely love this mascara. It's half the price of the designer brands that I've been using, and I find it doesn't give me raccoon eyes. It comes off beautifully, and it's just a really, really nice, thick kind of mascara. I'll show you what I mean right now. So I just apply that. Usually put about 3 coats on that, and then just 1 little coat on the lower lashes. So you remember I didn't put the concealer on my age spots here. All I'm going to do now, I have a little bit of foundation here. I'm going to use a brush like this, and this is the perfect color of the foundation, and I'm just going to, since this has got such good coverage, now when it dries it's going to match. Just going to kind of blob that on a little bit, and yeah, that's gonna just dry perfectly. So I'm gonna continue to touch up my imperfections. I'll be right back. So now the concealer has to dry, or the foundation, whatever you want to call it. It's time to work on the brows, and you can tell I really like this eyeliner or brow liner. It has a little spoolie on the end and the pencil, and this is from Burt's Bees. The color is blonde, but they've got all different kinds of colors for you. So all I want to do is just brush up my brows like this, and then you kind of fill them in from about here. Just fill in the line there. And then I also want to brush them up a little bit. Like that. Now, to keep them in place, I also use a clear mascara. This is a Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. And watch what this does, because as you can see, it's clear. And you just sort of brush those brows up, and it helps them to stay in place. Now maybe Bill can give you a little bit of a close-up here, because you can really tell the difference between the 2 brows, and if you want to give yourself a little bit of an eye lift, shaping your brows will also help that. So it's blush time, and I found this CoverGirl Cheekers, and it's a really nice color. What I also like about it is this particular line of blush also has a little bit of sparkly stuff in it, so we won't necessarily need to use a highlighter, especially if we're budgeting a little bit. So this color that I have here too is 109 Peach Gilt, spelt G-I-L-T. Now it comes with a little brush, but I don't want to use the little brush right now. I'm going to save that for later. And I'm going to use a brush like this, which is my blush brush. And boy, do I look pale. I really need some blush. So we'll put a little bit on there. Now just kind of liven me up a little bit. Now we use the thicker part on this part of our cheeks, but it's now thinning out the blush. So what I want to do is just put a little bit of color up here, a little bit down here, and a little bit on my chin. And yeah, that gives me some color. Now, since this is a budget makeup application, I'm going to just use the blush as it is without the little highlighter on it. It does have a bit of a sheen, which is nice. And this little brush that I have here, this is going to work with the blush to be my contouring, so I won't have to buy some contouring either. So just sort of put that in there. And then, of course, I want to kind of make sure, I know that's going on kind of heavy there, but I want a little bit of my cheekbones, and usually I would do this with contouring. But as you can see, it's giving me a bit of definition here. Also, we're gonna call these jowls. No, let's just call it underneath my chin. I want to do a little bit here and maybe just a touch up here of the contouring. So just an around and underneath to give my face a little bit more shape. Oops, I almost forgot. Do you know that our nose and our ears grow as we age? Amongst other things. So I still got a little bit of that contouring. I'm going to contour down the side of my nose here because I don't want to have that big nose thing that we get. And yeah, so that contouring will work there. And talking about our noses, remember a lot, probably every video, I talk about my secret weapon, my photo ready anti-shine cream, and it's from Revlon. It's very inexpensive too. And if you can't find it, of course I'm going to have the link for this below as well. And it's incredible. You know, the more you put on powder on your shiny noses or underneath our eyes, the more it tends to really dry up our skin and make us look wrinklier. So this just, you can see how much I love it, just goes like this. Now, maybe Bill, you can do a bit of a close-up on my nose here because my nose is a bit shiny. And when I put this on, the shine is gone, and underneath my eyes I'm a bit shiny, underneath here I'm a bit shiny, and it's just the most incredible product. So I don't go anywhere without this in my purse. And hey, if you like what you're seeing in this video, don't forget to subscribe. I think there's a button down there somewhere. And don't forget to click on the bell, and that way you'll be notified when my beauty and self-care and fashion videos are out. And thanks a lot for that. So I already did a couple of more applications of my mascara, and isn't it fabulous? It really opens up my eyes, and again, doesn't give me those raccoon eyes. But let's talk about lipstick now. And I have this Maybelline lipstick. I love the color. It's kind of a pinky red, and the number is 379, and it's Fuchsia for Me. So there you go. So I'm just going to put this, it's nice creamy lipstick. Just put that on. It goes on very, very nicely. And I really do suggest that you still get yourself a lip liner. And this one is by L'Oreal, and it's called All About Pink, so this should work for a nice lip liner. What I do with my lip liner is I just start at the middle. I know I put the lipstick on first, but I find it blends a little nicer this way. Right to the corner. Right to the corner. And I do like a brighter lip now. I just find it, again, a little bit of vibrancy, especially for some of those dull days that we get. So it's time to bring in my little video companion, and that's my little Yorkie. Hey, oh, I think I woke him up. Woke him up again. But yeah, you know, I feel so much better wearing a little bit of makeup, and I kind of feel better too when the makeup that I'm wearing is good, but it's also like a third or half the price. Hey, you know, life has its ups and downs. And if you're going through some kind of hard times, just remember faith over fear, and you'll get through it. And one way of getting through it is to try to do different things, you know, change things up a little bit. And on this channel coming up, I'm going to have some new kind of get ready with me, makeup and self-care. We need a lot of self-care and even still some fashion. And over on my other channel, which is Awesome Over 50 Inspiration, we've got some DIY products, no, not products, but projects for you, including a 6.5-hour redo of our backyard. We've got some food and fun and all kinds of things there. Some really inspirational things to do with your home life. Oh, and by the way, every single day I'm posting some inspirational messages for you over on Instagram. Just search Awesome Over 50, and I also do those little video stories as well. So, yep. Sometimes life serves us up lemons, and like they say, just take those lemons and make some lemonade. Maybe get a little bit more creative in what you're doing. Maybe find a way to, you know, keep your normalcy, but maybe do things a little less expensive, and you'll be making lemonade in no time. Hey, you know, I love being here for all of you, and if you found ways lately to kind of tighten your belt financially, let's just share it below in the comments. We're a little community here, and let's really try to help each other out a bit. So hey, I don't call you the awesome ones for nothing. You are so amazing, and I love talking to you in the comments, and a lot of times you're talking to each other, which is even more special. So take care, stay healthy, and I'll see you again real soon.